ask you, I mean, the industry is struggling with innovation, especially in the anti-cancer field. You know, this amazing science they're working on, and then in the end, it's only like a couple of months gives you extra life. I mean, what could you say to, because you're a pharmacologist, aren't you?
Yep.
Yep. I mean, where the problem lies, where's the answer in innovation? Where should they be heading? What's your advice to pharma companies?
Oh, I'm not a drug hunter, so I don't have any advice in that sense at all. You know, I think they have to you know, do the best science they can, you know, with the tools at their disposal. So I don't have any scientific advice. What I would like, though, is the cost of drug development to be much, much less. And
how can you do that in practice?
There's a whole range of things, actually. But the regulatory requirements are in many respects overburdensome. GCP, Good Clinical Practice Guideline thing that ICH produced some years ago, 14 years ago actually, has never been revised. It's evidence-free, and it imposes huge burdens. There are some clinical trials now that are costing $500 million to do, and about a third
$500 million to do.
$500 million.
$500 million. Oh, which one's that?
I don't know. I mean,
but you
know, this is what I was told by.
It's gone crazy, hasn't it?
It's gone crazy, and a third of the cost of those clinical trials are met in order to get compliance with the GCP and the site visits that the investigators or the sponsors have to undertake all the time. And so in a £500 million trial, 150 million is spent on wandering around from site to site, teams of people. Now there are other ways of doing it. You know, it doesn't have to be like that. There are statistical ways.
Can you give us some advice?
Well, I mean, yes. I mean, there's a group of statisticians wrote some years ago now about how you could monitor for the fidelity of the data statistically, looking at site results by site, and instead of wandering around all the time. It's just become ridiculous, ludicrous, the costs, ludicrous, and the size of clinical trials. When I was chairman of the CSM in 1992, the median number, or mean, I can't remember, the average number of patients in a clinical trial was 1,500. By the time I finished, it was 3,000. Now, I hope it wasn't anything I said. And now it's probably double that. I mean, you know, and actually you don't get very much more information. If you really want to get seriously more information, you have to go from about 1,500 to 15,000.
So why is this regulatory burden increased so much? Is it because we have a public that's adverse to side effects? Is that what we're worried about?
I think it is all. Most of these things were all introduced with the best of intentions. And it was prevent thwarted investigators, and so on and so forth. But it's been overkill. I think when I talk to pharmaceutical companies about this, they say, well, at the time we thought we'd just charge more money and get, although we'd have to pay more to do the studies, we'd charge more and get the money back that way. But the world's changed. We can't afford to meet the prices of these things.
So, do pharma need to change its model, or is it the regulators that need to change their model?
I think everyone needs to change it, and of course the other thing is that the GCP was instituted without any discussion with anyone from academia. And a lot of trials, 25% of trials in this country are done by academics, Medical Research Council, and all that sort of thing, and they were never involved in GCP, and it's sort of become absurd. Absolutely absurd. You wouldn't believe how absurd it's all become.